All right, so here's a demonstration on drawing solid 4. The instructions for solid 4 says, create the following object in the SolidWorks software using the dimensions that are given. When done drawing the part, please place the front view, the top view, and the right side view, and the isometric views in or onto a paper for submission. Please insert your hidden lines where applicable. Use the A4 landscape title block and fill it out with your name and your drawing name. When selecting the front plane, now this is something that we need to be aware of and make sure that you do with every drawing that you create in SolidWorks. So when you select your first plane in SolidWorks, you're asked to select a starting plane. Choose the plane according to which view on your drawing that you're going to be selecting. So when you select the front plane, that means you're going to be drawing the front view of your object. By selecting the top plane, that means you want to draw the top view. And by selecting the right plane, that means you want to draw the right side view. So just keep that in mind when you're selecting the different view or the starting plane for your drawing. You determine which view you want to draw first, and then that's the plane that you'll select as well. So let's get into SolidWorks to start this drawing. Actually, before we start with that, I would take a look at this. We only have the front view and the side view that are given to us. And I would actually recommend that we turn this front view, turn it around so that it's not facing towards the left, but so that it's facing towards the right. If we draw it like this, that means when we draw our isometric view, the isometric view is going to be facing away from us, which really doesn't give us that much detail. And notice the right side view, we're looking at the back of the right side view, and really that doesn't give us much information either. I would much rather see this turned around so that this nose part is facing towards the right side view, and the right side view is actually looking at this angled part. I think that would give us a better understanding, a visual understanding of what the object looks like when we complete the front, top, and right side view. So in SolidWorks, I am going to start a new drawing by simply coming up to the top and clicking on that I want to start a new drawing. It's a part that we're going to be creating. My measurements are given in inches, so I want to make sure down here in the bottom that inches, pounds, seconds are the units that I'm using. And when I start this drawing, I'm going to start by selecting the front plane because I'm going to be starting that front, the dimensions are what I'm going to be using. And as I normally do, I'll single click and click on normal 2 to turn the plane straight towards me. And as I mentioned with the picture, I'm going to draw it in the mirror image so that the angled face is facing towards the right side view. So I'm going to start with a sketch with the basically the overall size, and I'm just going to start by drawing a big rectangle. And the size of this rectangle, the length of it is 6 inches long, and the height of it, the total height is 2.62. And I simply clicked on the Smart Dimension, single clicked on the line, single clicked to drop it off, and then just typed in my numbers and hit enter on the keyboard. Sorry, I should have gave those instructions as well. So I'm done with my dimensioning. It says here that my box is fully defined. That means it's totally dimensioned. I'm done, so I'm going to check mark the dimension. I'm also done with my sketch, so let me exit the sketch. I'm now going to make sure that sketch here, this sketch is highlighted, and I'm going to go to the features toolbar and say that I want to extrude boss base. So I need to give this some depth, and according to the measurement, the right side view says that this is 3 inches. Enter and check mark. So this is the overall size of our object, 6 inches long, 2.62 inches tall, and 3 inches wide. I'm going to start by cutting the nose off of this thing. So I'm going to do that from the front view. So let me click on the front view, turn it blue, and go normal 2. And then the sketch for this is just going to be I'm going to come down, over, up, and across. So I'm going to create not a triangle, but a triangle with a flat side to it, like one of the corners have been shaved off. So I've selected my face. Next, I'm going to create a sketch. This is sketch right here. And I'm just going to use a line command to do this. And I'm going to pick somewhere just on the top of this, not at the midpoint. Please don't lock yourself into the midpoint. That's that little yellow dot that you see there. Start away from that because that will lock us in indefinitely, and we don't want to do that. So I'm just going to come down, over, up, and over. So I created an enclosed area. And so I'm done with my line, but I do need to dimension this thing. So this part here has got to be 1.5. So I single click on this, single click again, 1.5, enter. Let's see, as I look at this point from here, from this corner to this corner, this has got to be 3.5. Now I just need to tell it that the distance from this point to this point, make sure you get those little orange dots, that represents the corner. And you may need to move around a little bit before you can get that. This total distance is 1. Okay, so it's fully defined. I told how high this piece is, how long this piece is, and how long this piece is. Actually, indirectly, by telling how far this piece is, that automatically gives me this dimension. So I have everything, it's fully defined. So I can be done with my dimensioning, exit the sketch, and make sure again that sketch is highlighted in blue here. Go to features. This time we're going to cut, and I'm going to go through all. I'm going to change the blind to through all. So I'm going to spin this just a little bit so you can see it. And then check mark, and we cut that corner off. Okay. I'm also going to cut the hole that's in the side here. There's a kind of a odd shaped hole that runs through here. So my next cut is going to be through here. So I'm going to click on this face. This is the face I want to work on. Single click on it, normal 2. And I'm going to use my pencil or the line command to just sketch the shape of it, and then I'll add dimensions to it. So we start by highlighting the surface. Number 2, we create a sketch. I'm going to draw the sketch, and it basically comes down, over, down, over, up, over, up, and across. So make sure, again, make sure you make an entire enclosed area. Okay, so we're done with the line. Now we just have to give it some sizes. So start. I know that, let's see, the distance from here to here has got to be 1 inch. Okay. I know the distance from, let's see, from here to here is a 1/2 inch. And I know that the distance from here to here is a 1/2 inch. I know the distance from here to here is 0.75. I know the distance from I know the thickness of this is also 0.75. What else do I know? I know that the distance from here to here is 1.5. And look, it's turned fully defined. So that's a good thing. It knows exactly where it's at. It knows exactly how big it is. Everything is good there. So let me be done with that. Let me exit the sketch. Again, the sketch is highlighted in blue. So I can go features, cut extrude, and this piece right here has to be cut all the way through. So I'm going to say I want to go through all and check mark. Good. Now I'm going to go around to the back of this thing, normal to, and I'm going to cut the notches out of the bottom. There's 2 notches in here that are cut out. They are they're a 1/2 inch tall and a 1/2 inch thick, both of them. So let me sketch. I'm going to use a rectangle, and I'm just going to go from the corner, and I'm going to go from this corner, and done with the rectangle. Let me smart dimension it. This is 0.5, and this is 0.5. This is 0.5. This is 0.5. Everything is fully defined. We're all good. Done with that. Let me exit the sketch. Whoops. Let me highlight this sketch and say that I want to cut. And I want to go through all and check mark. All right. That's all there is to it. This drawing is now complete. So let's save this, save as, and this is solid 4. Also known as the tool support. And then I'm going to go back to new, and we're going to do a drawing. I'm going to browse, go all the way down to the bottom to the A4 landscape. And OK again. That gives me the title block that I want. I'm going to double click right here on tool support. If this doesn't show up, it probably just means that you're not in model view. And to get that, you simply go to the tab View Layout, select Model View, and it should give you your object right here. If not, you may have to browse for it. So I'm going to double click on that. I want to make sure this here is my front view, top view, bottom view, right side, left side, and back, and isometric. So I'm going to start with the front view. I'm going to place it by single clicking. I drag my mouse straight above it and single click. I come back to my front view, go to the right and single click. Come back to the front view, go up at an angle and single click. Now I've placed everything. They're not in the order that they're not in the locations that I want them, but they're all here. So now I'm just going to check mark that I'm done. And now I can go and I can move them around by grabbing the exterior box. And notice when I move the front view right and left, the top moves with it. And when I move up and down, the right side view moves with it. So I want to space these things out so that my spacing here and my spacing here is about the same. And then just kind of give yourself some room with the isometric view. Now I do want to make sure that the isometric view does not have the hidden lines selected. So I'm going to highlight this view. So this isometric view is selected. And over here, I've got my options. Here's a wireframe drawing. Hidden views or hidden lines are visible. Hidden lines are removed. So I actually want to remove the hidden lines from this view. But I want all of the front, top, and right side view. I want these hidden lines to remain visible. So if they disappear also, you may have to come back to the front view, single click on the front view because it's the driving view, the front view is. And you may have to turn them on by hidden lines visible here. Okay. Now to make sure that we put the proper information in the title block, you have to put your mouse, let me just check mark that I'm done with working on the drawing. I'm going to right mouse click and go edit sheet format. Notice your drawing disappears. It'll come back, but right now it disappears for a second while we work on our drawing here. So I'm going to let's see, I'm going to double click inside here and type in my name. And just single click out here. I'm also going to let me see here. I'm trying to get this edited so that it'll fit. What I need to do to edit this, it's too big and it's not fitting in my title block properly. So I'm going to double click on it and I'm going to right mouse click and go to font. That will allow me to change the size that I'm working with here. Let me just change, let me drop this down in size so that it will fit. That's better, solid. All right, so if you have issues with that, with one of your text, just double click on it, right mouse click and go to font. And that will allow you to change, go to points, and then that'll allow you to change the size of your font. Okay, once you have everything in your title block the way you want it, come back up top and right mouse click again, and then go edit sheet. And that brings your drawing back in. It keeps your title block like you have it, and you're good here. All right, I hope this was helpful for you.